Is John 3:16 the most misunderstood verse in the Bible? It is certainly the most well-known verse, but most people don't know that it was spoken by Jesus to Nicodemus in answer to a question Nicodemus asked in verse 9. How can these things be? What were the things? How can a man be born of water and the Spirit? Understanding the context of this chapter, along with chapters 1, 2, and 3, water has never been used to speak of the Spirit before. It is a metaphor or a simile that John uses, and he's the first writer to use that metaphor. And we never find it identified clearly, although Jesus uses it according to John's writing in chapter 4. We never find that metaphor used in Scripture, identified in Scripture, until John chapter 7, verse 39, which is in possibly understanding, according to Reese's Chronological Bible and Reese's Chronological Study Bible, it would be about the Feast of Tabernacles in October before Jesus is crucified in April of the next year. In other words, if Jesus' ministry lasts 3.5 years, and we know that it covered 3 Passovers, so we believe it was somewhere close to 3.5, and Nicodemus is spoken to after the first Passover, possibly right after it. Chapter 2 talks about Jesus at that Passover, his first Passover of his ministry. And there were many that believed on him because of the miracles he did. And then we start chapter 3 with Nicodemus. It's clear that no one had an idea yet that water could equal spirit. So to interpret it as water equaling spirit there as an even for the and is a misunderstanding. You're trying to apply something, omnipresence of God, to something that's not known yet to men. We know it. You know it only if you've read chapter 7. Otherwise, you would think it was water baptism. It's the only thing that's really dealt with water up until that time. Because, and that's what it should be, actually. The context dictates that it has to be water baptism. You read chapter 1, there's 2 men, Jesus and John. One baptizes with water, the other baptizes with spirit. And so very clear that that is what's required, and it's because of your faith in the sacrifice that it's possible.